Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to my response to Rob Walker's vinyl tag of 2023. I'm really pleased he did this because I hate January the 1st. It's the most depressing day of the year, and the vinyl tag is something that does lift my spirits because I love doing them. Rob has set 20 questions, so we'll get into this. Right, the first one is my favourite new album of 2022. I only bought a couple of new albums in 2022, which is why I never did one of those best ofs for the end of the year. So I have to say my favourite was the Wet Leg album. I think this is really good fun. It's like punk, it's like pop, but there is so much wit in it, and I just think it's magnificent. So that gets my favourite choice. A record by the last person or band I saw live. I haven't seen a live show since 2019. I'm actually going to see one in February, which we'll come to later on. But the last one I saw was the Proclaimers, and I think this was in September 2019, just before the pandemic. And this is their 2015 album, Let's Hear It For The Dogs, which is a very strong album, and it's got one of my all-time favourite Proclaimer songs on it, In My Home. A band whose debut was their best, in other words they didn't better their debut album, and there's a few, but I'm going to actually pick a band I don't show that much, and that's Mungo Jerry, and this is their debut from I think 1970 or so. Now this does have a problem. The first song just does not fit with the rest of the music. It's a little rock and roll number, Baby Let's Play House, but this is full of kazoos and foot stomping, acoustic guitars, and it is absolutely brilliant. Like songs like Maggie and Peace in the Country are brilliant, Sad-Eyed Joe, and then they do San Francisco Bay, which is absolutely fantastic. Now this is the UK version. The American version had In the Summertime on it. It wasn't on this, it was on their next album, but I don't think they ever bettered this album. And also some of the pictures of this are in 3D, and you get a wee set of 3D glasses, you know, the wee cardboard ones with the coloured lenses, wee plastic lenses. So yeah, good fun. Mungo Jerry, it is their best album. A hat trick where you have a cassette, a CD and a vinyl record. I can't do it because I only have one cassette, so I've done another little hat trick, which is probably cheating, but we'll do it anyway. And this is the only cassette I own, and it's the Tin Machine single, Tin Machine with Maggie's Farm Live, and this was given to me at a record fair because I bought a couple of Bowie albums. We also have the 7-inch single, and this is the limited edition one in a gatefold sleeve. And finally you have, or I have, the picture disc, the shaped picture disc. So yeah, Maggie's Farm Live and Tin Machine. So I don't have cassettes because about 6 years ago I took all my cassettes out and threw them all in the bin. I don't like cassettes, and you know, I wish I hadn't now. I wish I could have given them away to somebody, but I wasn't part of VC then. Okay, an album that starts and ends with the same letter, and this was harder than you think, but I went for the Damned, and this is Damned, Damned, Damned. So this is their debut album, and produced by Nick Lowe. And yeah, good album. Not my favourite. Machine Gun Etiquette is my favourite, but still good album. Someone born in the same year as me. Well, this a lady was born 2 days after me on February the 21st, 1966, and it's the gorgeous Wendy James. So she's 2 days younger than me, and I still think she looks absolutely fantastic. The most listened to album of the year, that's really tough because I'm not too sure, and I honestly think this is still the most listened to album of the year for me, and it was the same as last year, and it's ABBA's Voyage, because in January and February I played this still to death. I gave it a rest from March onwards, and then I've picked up playing it again over the past couple of months. So ABBA's Voyage gets that, and it's a 2021 album. Okay, the artist I listened to the most in 2022, well again it could have been ABBA, and it probably is ABBA, but I don't want to say it, so I'm going to go with the next one, and that's Nick Lowe, who I've been playing an awful lot of lately. and this is his Wireless Sound album, which was released on Record Store Day. Basically it's Jesus of Cool and Pure Pop for Now People, the two debuts with all the songs from each to create one 14-track album. Yeah, very good, and it's a really nice package as well, coloured vinyl. Number 9, an Australian band, and I'm going to go with Icehouse, who I saw live in 1983 supporting David Bowie at Murrayfield Stadium in Scotland, in Edinburgh, Scotland. And this is a really good album. Now, I think this is really a compilation album for the European markets, because I think it's got a few songs off the previous album. And the big single off this, which was a big hit at the time, was Hey Little Girl, which I still love. Really enjoy this album. I never bought any more of them though, because I think their sound changed a little bit. But yeah, I think the guy's called Ivor Davis who wrote the songs, but good album, 1983. Possibly 1982 it was released, I'm not sure. Okay, number 10, a record people would be surprised I picked up. Showed this a couple of days ago. AC/DC, Highway to Hell. Well, now my 4th AC/DC album. Really good, and I could have used these guys for the Australian question. Number 11, an artist I'm complete on. Now I'm talking about the studio albums here rather than live albums and so forth. And with studio albums I'm complete on Pink Floyd. And maybe another surprise, but yes, I've got all Pink Floyd albums on vinyl. This was the last one I had to get to be complete, and it's not one of my favourites. I think it's a bit sort of bland, but it's not too bad. So this is Division Bell. A great run of 3 albums, and I'm sure Rob will be pleased with this. And I was going to pick 3 Genesis ones, but I thought no, I'm going to pick what I really want to pick. The Jam, All Mod Cons, The Jam, Setting Suns, and The Jam, Sound Effects. The Jam's 3 best albums, in that order as well for me. Okay, show an 80s soundtrack, and I'll show Electric Dreams, which came out in 1984 I think, and this has got the big hit single with Giorgio Moroder and Phil Oakey together in Electric Dreams, but it's also got 2 really good Jeff Lynne songs on it, Video and Let It Run, so it's not a bad soundtrack. I did watch the film at the time and it was rubbish. Okay, somebody who passed away in 2022, and I'm going to give it to Christine McVie, and this is her solo album from around 1984 or so, and this is okay. It's not very good. It starts off really well, but then it falls apart. So very sad to hear of Christine dying. So basically that's it for Fleetwood Mac for me. You know, you need her in it. Okay, she wasn't in it for the Say You Will album, but that was seriously lacking, the fact that there was no Christine McVie song. So rest in peace, Christine McVie. Number 15, a disappointing purchase in 2022. Now this is the act I'm going to see live in February, and I love them. But I have to say the NK Pop is slightly disappointing. It's from Paul Heaton and Jackie Abbott. Now, as I say, I do love them, but they're not changing their styles at all. You know, this could be like any other album. I really must listen to it because I know they're going to play quite a few songs off this. But you know, even the last one, which was very similar, which was a double album, was I think better than this. But still, there's some decent songs of it, but I was slightly disappointed that they didn't follow a slightly different route. But NK Pop, Paul Heaton and Jackie Abbott, although I love that cover. Okay, show for number 16, show a non-vinyl item. So I'm going to show a book, and this is Electric Light Orchestra, and it's song by song, and basically this goes through each song and makes a little write-up of each song by ELO. It also features the Jeff Lynne solo work and the Jeff Lynne's ELO, well, the first one, not the second album, and also the solo work of Roy Wood. So it's a pretty good book, and there is some really nice photographs in it. It's enjoyable. I like these sort of books where they talk about the actual songs, so song by song, and the author is John van der Kist. Okay, number 17, A Grail, and I showed this yesterday in a video. I'm showing it again, and it is Slade, the single Sign of the Times from 1979. Okay, number 18, a space themed record, and I showed this in a different video as well. I think it was for What the Gym. It's Mike Oldfield, The Songs of Distant Earth. So absolutely fantastic, beautiful album, it really is. It's from 1994, and it was the follow-up to Tubular Bells too, but it's a really good listen. And at number 19, VCLT, or A Present from Somebody, and I did get VCLT this year, and I got 3 albums from Mike, PC31, The Vinyl Policeman, and 3 Comsat Angels albums, the debut, which is Waiting for a Miracle. The second one is Sleep No More, and the third one is Fiction. They're 3 good albums, although I must say that the first and the second are the better 2 of the 3. So again, thanks Mike, and I still haven't sent you anything yet, I haven't forgotten. Number 20, and the last question, a record from 1973. Now I was going to show David Bowie, I was going to show T-Rex, I was going to show all those, but I decided I will show Roy Orbison, and this is his Milestones album from 1973, and this is actually quite good. You're not going to get anything spectacular from a Roy Orbison album, they're all very similar, but I do love I Wanna Live, I love that song, and You Lay So Easy on My Mind, I think it's a gorgeous song. I have somebody else singing that on a compilation called Country Boy Meets Country Girl, which was a comp that came out in the 70s, and it was on it, and it's a fantastic song. And you get a version of Sweet Caroline, Blue Rain Coming Down. It's a decent album. It's the 70s Roy Orbison album, and nobody was taking any notice of the guy at all. Okay, so those are the 20 questions for Vinyl Tag 2023. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll leave a link to Rob's original video down below. Sub them up and have a go yourself. You know, as Rob said, you know, if you've got 1 subscriber or 30,000 subscribers, this is your opportunity just to have really good fun and get yourself known as well, especially if you don't have many subs. Okay, that's me for now, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.